Ladies and gentlemen, Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. I want you to listen to this if you're not into tech too much. Cell phones cannot replace computers. If there's anything I know, I can tell you this. A cell phone will never replace a computer. Well, it might in somebody else's lifetime, but with the way things are, with the way things have been, and with the way they're going, we need a keyboard, we need a mouse. Okay, we can deal without these things for minor things, for easy things, for things that we don't need to worry about getting paid for, unless it's simple, straightforward communication. We've been using keyboards forever. Literally, Donald Trump, literally forever. Recently, we've gotten mice, and there's so much that we can do with these units. Now, what people might not quite realize is we have to communicate and interact with our hardware. And doing this isn't going to do that. Using a single pen isn't going to do that. We need multiple fronts when it comes to doing exactly what we want to do. And in a computer, we have godly 3D power. We can grab something and enlarge it just like that. We can make things larger, smaller. We can grow them. We can even move them forwards or backwards through time if you know what you're doing. But a lot of people want to just completely replace computers with tablets, with cell phones, and it just doesn't work that way. Excuse me, sorry. You need keyboards and you need mice. You need whatever else you can get your hands on. But you're not going to be controlling things as nicely, as thoroughly, as well as you would if you had a keyboard. So there are a lot of things you can do with a cell phone. There are a lot of things you can do with a cell phone. And a lot of people only know Windows. So when they think Windows, they think everything should be like Windows. It should all be as easy as that. And in the early days, you know what? It was like that, no problem. You could hook your MP3 player into your computer and copy and paste stuff. Just like that. No problem at all. Absolutely no problem at all. But it doesn't work that way with Apples. Louis Rossmann himself was saying, geez, I remember someone gave me an iPad or an iPod and said, get an MP3 off this. Can you? I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. Come on, anybody could. You just hook it up into a system and it is right there in the browser. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't always work that way. It doesn't have to work that way. It's all about what the operating system user wants it to do. So a lot of people are out there, they're great with Apple. They're great with Windows, and they think they can switch over to something else, or that another piece of hardware will be the same thing. But no, it's not. Everything's been adapted to go with Windows. You know what you know about computers because of Windows, for the most part. Okay, most people these days, kids my age, they grew up with Windows, and suddenly they jumped over to Apple because they got into another social group, because they need to do picture and video editing, so they went there. But yeah, you're used to this, and all you folks that did that know what I'm talking about. It's different. Things are just a little bit different. So we get people at the top of organizations, including education and regular industry, thinking, you know what, we have these tablets, it's time to move forward into the future. Let's use these tablets to do things we would normally do on computers. And a lot of the times, in education, I've heard stories of teachers just being thrown tablets and being like, okay, here's a tablet. It's for education because reasons. And then meanwhile, with an Apple, totally different from any Windows computer, totally different from the Apple, geez, I guess you'd call that, yeah, iOS, is it? The Apple operating system. Definitely it's not like you can just it's not like you can just plug in and go copy and paste. It doesn't work that way. You can't install Encarta on that, in that Apple tablet. You guys remember Encarta? That was good stuff. I wonder if they still make that stuff. But anyways, a lot of people think tablet, okay, I can do QuickBooks, I can do so many practical things with my Windows system. Well, you know what, Windows has been around for so long, I'm not even sure if I can, I can remember a time without Windows, but man, that was so long ago, and everybody's been developing for Windows, all of these programs, all of this hard work, this failure, the success has been going into Windows systems. And because of that, everything is Windows. You know how many Windows phones there are? Oh, if you, it, I have a bit of experience with Windows phones, but Windows phones don't equal Windows computers. Those are two very different things. It connects a lot nicer, but it's not the same thing. Android's about the closest thing that you can get reasonably with a popular phone. You plug it in, you know where to put the music. You can just copy and paste the music and you can put it there, and it works that way. The only problem is if you want to roll with Android, yes, you can do a lot of things with it, but there are so many gaping holes all over the place. There are so many holes in the Android operating system that hackers that are so good that they work with the governments of the world are hacked themselves and their information is stolen from them. So yes, you can do everything. You can do everything from an Android. It's amazing. I dual wield. I have to have an Apple and Android. But you can do so much with an Android that you can't with an Apple. But the thing is, Apples are damn near bulletproof. A lot of people don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. And a lot of the same kind of hackers that got hacked from using Android apps. Okay, a bit of a backstory of that. There's a situation in the Middle East right now where a lot of people, hackers that worked with government institutions that were paid by the government, got their information stolen from them because they downloaded apps directly from websites that they themselves, the websites, didn't realize had a hacked program on it. Hackers hacked in and said, okay, you know that program everybody's downloaded? We're going to change that to our program so that when people download it, we're getting the information. Okay, so that's what happened there. That's what happened there. Now with the Apple, there are so few, even Windows is like this on a lesser scale these days. There are so few issues with the Apple that if you have a 0-day vulnerability, 0-day meaning it's been a vulnerability since day one and nobody's figured it out, that is financially viable. You can get money for that. You can get money for that. And because of that, because it is so hard to hack a system these days, because it's so bulletproof, because everybody's been using them for so long, let's face it, probably the last 20 years, everybody has a computer. Everybody has a Windows computer. And because of that, so much money you put in. Man, back in the early 2000s, Windows was just an excuse to spend money. Windows was literally an excuse just to print money. Sorry, to print money, because man, there were so many issues with it. Back in Windows XP time, Windows 95 could make, if you went to a web page, that web page could make registry error or registry changes within your system. If you don't know what a registry is, let's call them system keys. So you get your files that you view, you get your DLLs and stuff. This is totally different from all of this stuff. You got to go into regedit, and in regedit, if you shoot yourself in the foot, you don't shoot yourself in the foot. You blow your leg off, and it takes a lot. You got to be an administrator to install that kind of stuff these days. But back then, if you went to a web page, it could change that kind of stuff. So a lot of things has changed. There's a lot at work there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, a cell phone is not a computer. When people think of computers, they think of Apple, they think of iOS. No, it's not like that. It's a mobile thing that can do kind of the same thing. Okay, like let's say you get your work truck. Let's say like telephone, Comcast, Bell worker. You get your work truck. You get all the hardware you need in that thing, and that's your computer. Then you go out to work, and let's say they're like, oh no, we're going to downscale you. We'll give you a Honda Fit, and we'll give you ladders that are only half the size, and we'll only give you 1/3 of the equipment that's on the inside. That's it. You're basically taking a toolkit and cutting it right back. In the case of Apple systems, it's there is a lot that you can do with it. I was given the job at my work to find a way to make sign-offs with the tablet. I could do it, but I couldn't connect the tablet to the enterprise server. And pretty much everyone has an enterprise server. Enterprise server is a Microsoft thing. But I'm not going to be connecting no Android to my enterprise server. I can connect tablets, but have you seen at the time, okay, Windows 8 tablets were out, Windows 7 tablets were just unheard of. Those things were unbelievably heavy. Yes, they were a good idea, but if you have to carry them around for any amount of time, you know why they're a piece of junk. Okay, they're just that's off the table. Windows 8 tablets are garbage. I bought one for it. It's just garbage. Just freaking garbage. They're trying to change everything. And they're trying to change the way computers look at the same stuff at the same time. They're making, at the time, they were making computers and tablets look like the same thing, which made both of them horrible. If they would have made tablets light, that had Windows 7 on it, maybe I could have got that done. But the best I could do was have a Windows tablet, and then you would mail from your Exchange server, you would mail the sign-off sheet, bam. You would mail the sign-off sheet, you'd open it up as a PDF, you'd sign it, and then you had to mail it back. It's not seamless. It worked, but it wasn't seamless. But seriously, what I gotta get across is that unless it has a mouse and a keyboard, it's not a computer. You can do whatever you want with the tablet, but a tablet is not a computer. Okay? You're going to have issues. There's going to be issues. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time ultimately. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Thanks for listening to my ramble, and Billy thanks you too. Catch you later. Take care of each other.